What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with episode 12. It's me, Jason Sutcliffe, with
Tristan Keddy.
And we have a good show lined up for you today. We're going to start the show off with a little head-to-head between Eryk Anders and Brendan Allen. They're going to have a little conversation about their upcoming fight on June 23rd in Houston, Texas. LFA 14, that's what I'm looking forward to. There's another title fight on there. It's going to be a good one. You're not going to want to miss that. Next up, we're going to have Lazar Stojadinovic. He's going to come on and talk with us about some upcoming fight news. Can't wait to talk to him. He should be an exciting conversation. One I've been looking forward to all week, Shorty Torres is going to be on here. Shorty's going to talk with us about healing up with the broken hand and the MCL tear that he suffered against Farkhad Sharipov at Titan 44, winning 2 belts. Any news from the UFC? Should be a good week. And we're going to close out with Volkan Oezdemir, the number 4 ranked light heavyweight in the UFC, fresh off a 28-second destruction of Misha Cirkunov. Can't wait for that conversation. Should be a good one to hear his thoughts on it and his thoughts on his upcoming bout with Jimi Manuwa at UFC 214. That's right. Okay, so we got a good one. We got a good one for you today. So stay tuned, and we're going to be back with Eryk Anders and Brendan Allen. Talk to you guys soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Myron Godet calls a stop to the fight. 2 minutes, 46 seconds into the very first round for your winner by TKO, Brendan Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Frank Collazo calls a stop to the fight in 1 minute, 35 seconds into the first round for your winner by TKO, Eryk Frankenstein Anders.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back. We got Eryk Anders and Brendan Allen on the line. They're about to compete for the middleweight LFA strap at LFA 14, June 23rd in Houston, Texas. What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us here at the Fight House.
Appreciate you having us.
Yeah. What's going on,
hey,
Brendan?
man,
You there?
Going on?
Not much, man. How are you guys? Everything's going good over there? How's camp been for you, Brendan?
Man, it's been really well. We're on our way to Milwaukee right now, almost there, finally. Get a couple days out here and head back home and finish the weight cutout, head to Houston.
Sweet. And with you, Eryk, how's everything been, man?
Man, everything's going good, man. Doing everything right here at home. Usually with my camps, the weight cut is the hardest part, the biggest issue, but it's shutting off pretty good. So sitting pretty right now, ready to get it on here in a few weeks.
Nice. I'm going to start with a question for the both of you guys. First, I guess we'll let Eryk answer this time. This could be bigger than just a title fight for you guys. This could likely be a shot in the UFC. Do you feel that pressure in this fight, that it's more than just for an LFA middleweight title?
Who's going first?
You go first this time, Eryk. Go for it.
I don't really feel any extra pressure. This is just like any other fight. And, the reward will come at the end. Getting ready for it, preparing for it as usual, as if it was my last fight. And, nothing special, just going to go in there and do what I do, train how I train, prepare how I prepare, and, let the chips fall as they may at the end.
And how about with you, Brendan?
I feel the same way, man. There's no extra pressure for me. I've been in title fights before. Something different. Like you said, the reward's going to come at the end anyway, so it's going to be what it's going to be.
True. You said in previous comments before this fight, you said that you were looking for a harder fight when they gave you Anders. What makes you feel like there's a harder fight out there for you than Eryk in the LFA?
I just feel skill-wise, I could have been challenged a little bit more. Stylistically, it's just not a good stylistic matchup for him, in my opinion. But I'm sure he feels the same way about me. So, it's just how I feel about it. I feel like it could have been a tougher opponent stylistically. What do you think?
What do you feel like separates you guys so much?
Just overall skill level, experience, skill level, the opponents we face. I feel like those all play a factor.
What's your response to that, Eryk?
As far as the opponents go, I think our opponents are equal, if not slightly towards mine. Like, you fought Matt Jones. He's 9-14. Like, that's not a challenge. That's an amateur fight for you. So, and skill level, you definitely, and I think that you'll agree that you definitely haven't fought an athlete of my caliber. So, as far as skill level goes, I think you'll be quite surprised with my skill level. I think your best bet is on the ground, as I'm sure you'll agree with too. But, as long as we're on the feet, you're in my realm there.
I mean, you could think that, but I mean, hey, it's going to be what it's going to be anyway. So we'll find out June 23rd.
Do you still stand by your prediction of a first-round knockout in under 3 minutes, Eryk?
Absolutely.
And what is
I think I hit much harder than anybody he's fought. Much faster, stronger, quicker. Short area quickness will definitely be in my favor. And you know, my boxing is much better than his Muay Thai. So, like I said, I stand by what I say. Knockout in under 3 minutes or less, and you know, that's how it's gonna go down.
What do you feel like when you hear him predict that he can take you out in under 3 minutes, Brendan? What's your predict? Does that make you feel?
I mean, he better really pray hard on that, because that's his only bet to beat me.
You think you could handle the power?
I've been hit by way bigger guys, way harder hitters, but the thing is, can you hit me? I don't get hit in fights too much, so that'll be the question.
The film reflects otherwise.
If you say so.
I don't like the film. I don't have to speak. The film speaks.
Hey, that's fine. I mean, but none of that really matters, because I'm sure we're both going to be two different guys within each of our films on June 23rd.
You also displayed some confidence when talking about this fight, though, Brendan. You said you were going to bet money on yourself. You were hoping you were the underdog so you could put a little money on yourself. Where do you get the confidence from for you that makes you feel like this is going to go your way rather easily?
I train with better guys. I prepared harder, so I can't necessarily say harder, because I mean, I don't know how he's doing. I'm preparing to the best that I can do. I'm training with the best around, and you know, the confidence is there. I feel I have all the skills in the world, so we'll see what happens.
Do you feel like he's underestimating you, Eryk?
Oh yeah, big time. And you know, he may just be saying that. You know, I'm not really sure what his heart says. But you know, it is what it is. He can say what he wants. But you know, my hands will do the talking from the 23rd.
Deal. You said before, Brendan, that you were really looking forward to getting in the clinch with Eryk. That's where you felt you'd be the strongest. Was it that you've seen in his film or whatever you've watched that makes you feel like that's where you'll be able to dominate him?
I mean, all his fights that I've seen end up in the clinch. Like I said, I don't watch tape too much. I just kind of view what my coach and my father tells me to view, and we go from there. But in his clinch, it's just really basic. There's nothing really there. It's kind of like a beginner level. Like we were there about 2 years ago, learning those things and doing the things that he's doing. So it's just kind of old news. So.
Do you think you pride yourself kind of on that short burst power and the quickness, Eryk? What are you thinking when you hear him say that he feels like that's where he's going to dominate you?
I mean, I feel Trevin's was probably 10 times faster than he closed the distance. So, if we want to go off of film, then I don't think we can really talk about how quick he closed the distance. So.
What do you say?
I'm not worried about it.
What do you say to that, Eryk? Question was initially for you. What do you think
about
of it? So I said, how do you feel when you hear him saying things like he's going to dominate you in the clinch? Like you feel, and those are kind of like the areas where you pride yourself, that short burst quickness and stuff. And then he's kind of not, he's not thinking that that's going to be a problem for him. And how does that make you feel? Like, what do you think when you hear him say that?
I think he's lying to himself and wishful thinking. You know, he knows what's good, man. He say he don't watch film, but then he turn around and say that what I do is basic. Well, how do you know that if you're not watching film? So, you know, it is what it is. You know, like I said, he can lie to himself all he wants, but you know, come the 23rd, you know, my hands will speak the truth.
Well, what's your plan? What's a bit of your game? Like, what's your idea of how you think this fight ends? How do you see yourself winning this fight? No, you told me the 3 minute.
I told you how I know the fight's gonna end.
Oh, so but what I'm saying is like you see the fight breaking down. Like, how do you see this round breaking down? How do you see it going? Like, do you feel like he's gonna bum rush you? What are you thinking?
Nah, he's not gonna bum rush me. He might after he gets touched. He definitely gonna try and clinch something after that point. But in the beginning, you know, he'll come out and he'll probably maybe pepper his jab a little bit. You know, whatever.
ones and twos, basic stuff like that, just to get a feel. But by the time he gets the feel, it's going to be over and done with anyway. So.
And how do you see this fight ending, Brendan?
How do I feel it's going to end?
Yeah, how do you see this fight? When you visualize it, how do you see this fight going?
I mean, I see him breaking. No matter what he says, you know, he's never fought a guy that can push him and contest him, and it's just better everywhere. You know, when guys feel that, it really comes down to heart at that point. And if you're going to take it, just take the beating, or if you're just going to wait and look for a way out. So we'll find out if it comes down to if he's going to give up or if he's just going to take the beat in all 5 rounds. But I know the first round, you know, he's going to be explosive. So, but don't get it wrong, man. I'm preparing for the best Eryk that's going to come. But like I said, I don't think it's any match for what I'm bringing to the table.
And what were you saying there, Eryk? What?
I'm just, come on, man, be realistic. We've already seen you quit. We've already seen you quit in the Chuck and Giles fight. We saw that.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
Sounds like you're taking your own advice right now. You know, we watched you take it for a little bit, watch you fill your face in, and then we watch you give up your back and let him choke you out. So we ready.
Hey, it doesn't matter how good you are. When your body gets out, it gets out.
Is that Brendan? Sorry, Brendan. What did you say there? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
It doesn't matter how good you are, how much heart you have. When your body gets out, it gets out. And, you know, it is what it is.
And you believe, and Eryk, you believe that was a telltale sign for you that you can get him to a place where he'll quit?
If I can what?
I said that fight was a sign for you that you could get him to a place where you believe he'll quit?
Oh, absolutely. He's not going to have a choice. Well, he'll have a choice. You know, he'll have a choice. But when he feels that left hand, he's going to run out of options really quick.
You just sit there and keep praying for that left hand. That's your saving grace right there.
All right, whatever.
All right. Listen, I'm really looking forward to this fight. It's going to be a good one. It's one I've been looking forward to since I heard it was announced. And good luck to both you guys. For everybody else, you know, catch the fight June 23rd in Houston, LFA 14. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, Jason.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, man.
I
Enjoy.
appreciate you having me, Jason.
All right, man. Have a good night, guys.
All right.
Good one. You know, it's interesting when I was in the middle of the call, right? I'm thinking to myself, you know, it doesn't have the same flair that like the Delani, David Acosta, but they're two very confident people.
Well, that's the thing. We don't have to. We could do this, and you don't have to. Like,
no.
Yeah, you just let them just do their thing. Because some people are going to be talkers, some people, they're not going to be as exuberant. But
no, that's my point, right? It's interesting because I'm enjoying the conversation the same. You know,
true.
I'm enjoying it. I'm talking. You know, we're talking about the things they actually said. You know, but now it's like, well, now. We can have you can respond to that.
Yeah, we've had them both on the podcast, but it's good to see like what people say. You know, it's funny when somebody says, you know, you've quit, you give up your back. It's hard when somebody's right there to say it to you. It's like you have to respond. I totally understand what Brendan's saying. You know, when you're done, you're done. But at the end of the day, it's like checkmate kind of thing. You know, it's tough.
Well, it isn't it. It depends on how you view it, I guess. Right? It is, I guess, to a degree, but it's like also, it was Trevin Giles.
It's true. He's very good.
Trevin Giles is the guy. You know what I mean? If there was, you know, you obviously don't want to lose that fight. And Brendan's extremely confident he would win a rematch. He's been lobbying for that forever. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I don't think Eryk's fought a guy like Brendan.
We're going to be able to see if that like explosiveness is going to be as effective as you think it's going to be.
Right.
Against you.
You know, I was going to ask them a couple more questions, but I felt like they were just at the point where they were just saying what they were going to say, and that was, I'm knocking you out. That's it. Like, you know, I felt like we got to that point, so I was like, okay, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
It was a good one. I really appreciate those guys coming on the show. Yeah. We're going to have more of those head-to-heads, too. I really like them. I think, you know, it gives people a little insight into...
Yeah, especially if you have...
Is there any animosity?
If you're talking back and forth with them, it doesn't hurt to ask whether or not they want to talk to each other. You know, maybe they want to talk to each other.
Yeah. And those are guys I've interviewed multiple times, so, you know, it was interesting to get them on there and see the difference and... Mm-hmm. You know, when they're confronted, not that there is a difference. They seem pretty same as they always are, but I like some of the confidence. It's really nice. Yeah. It's good to see. So, listen, we're going to be back. Next up is Lazar Stojadinovic, and I look forward to that conversation. he's got some fight news, so we'll talk to Lazar soon. Thanks for sticking with us.
But Stojadinovic, just massive amounts of output. The numbers of his punches, striking overall, elbows out of him was amazing. He obviously is in incredible shape.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back, and we have Lazar Stojadinovic on the line. How you doing, Lazar? Welcome to the Fight House. Thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, nice to meet you on the Fight House, man.
Sorry?
Always a pleasure. Always nice to be on.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. How's everything been? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Just training, just staying ready. Had something lined up for, I was going to fight July 27th for Combate America. I was going to fight Chris Avila.
Okay.
But some bigger and better news came, so I'm taking that.
Bigger and better? What's that?
It's kind of I don't know if I know I told you I was gonna have some news for you, so that's why I'm kind of like stuck, because they haven't really gave me the approval to talk about it.
I got you.
Unfortunately.
No problem. When does that happen?
I'm like I'm always I know I'm always short-ending you, man. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. It's all right, man. These things happen. Well, listen, hey, man,
Yeah,
I'm happy that you got bigger and better news. Is it a pay thing? Is it just a level of mixed martial arts? What are we talking?
No, it's a pay thing. It's going to be July 18th, and it's going to be in Vegas. So it's going to be big news. Cool.
Nice
stuff going on, man. Yeah.
July 18th in Vegas. I got my producer frantically looking for an event that's going on July 18th.
Yeah, they didn't say nothing about people guessing it, so you guys can figure it out.
I looked over. He was frantically typing right now, trying to find it. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, man. So what's been going on otherwise, man? How's everything been with yourself personally? Everything's going well?
Good, man. This news is really like something that changed everything. Like I was going back and forth with Bellator, the UFC, and things weren't like happening, and that's why I took that fight with. I was going to take that fight against Chris Avila for July 27th, but news ended up coming through, and things worked out in my favor. But it was a real like. It was a roller coaster for a while, man. I would get something happen, and then something else, and it would switch off, and it was a real pain. But finally, we're here, and things are set. Things are happening.
Nice, man.
I know this is official. So
you're on like an 8-fight win streak or something. Was it starting to get? How frustrating were you starting to get? Just in the fact that you were, kind of seeming like you weren't getting that break, you know what I mean? Like, was it really frustrating for you?
Yeah, it was really frustrating, man, because, I'm watching guys get in there with a 4-fight, 3-fight win streak, and I'm like, what is it that I'm missing? Like, I don't understand. Like, I think I'm pretty marketable, I don't see why I wouldn't be getting a call. Like, it made no sense to me. I'm an 8-fight win streak. I'm an exciting fighter. I'm always standing and banging, like, what else do you want? Like, you claim you want exciting fights. So it was getting a little frustrating in that aspect. I was like, what else could I do? Like, I wasn't really sure what I can do.
Right.
So it was kind of frustrating in that aspect. I'm just like, I really, other than taking another fight and just beating somebody else up, like I didn't know what else to do in the right direction to get the call,
Right. And especially coming off your last one, I mean, it was against Mike Richmond. It was a dominant victory over Bellator vet. I mean, I'm sure you had to leave there feeling like the call was coming for something.
Yeah, definitely. When that was a reason, like, when they pitched that fight to me, I was like, oh, perfect. Like, this should be my last one in the regional scene. Like, this should be it. Like, beating this guy should put me, and especially, I knew that if I put on an exciting fight, and dominate him, that I would definitely get the call.
Right.
which I did. Like, you know, I put an exciting fight, and I dominated the whole fight. So I really expected the call.
You know, and was there? I mean, obviously, if you've been signed to the UFC, then that would be different. But is there ever a point when you're like, you know what, I gotta try to look for another avenue, like, you know, I gotta let the UFC thing go and try to get the money while my window's open?
Well, yeah, definitely. Like that's where I kind of was a couple months ago. I was kind of in that spot. Like I was like, man, you know, I've been doing this I've been pro for 11 years now.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, a lot of guys' whole career is 11 years, 12 years, you know?
Sure.
So I was like, I need to start making money. And as much as I don't have, you know, 20, 30, or 35 fights, like some guys retiring that have been fighting for 12, 13 years, I have the miles still. I've had, you know, 35, 40 camps, like fight camps. And that's really where you grow in your age. It's not really in the fight. The fight's the easy part. It's the training that you put. You know, you get hurt in training. You don't get hurt in the fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, I haven't been in you know, any of my fights. I haven't been hurt. So the injuries come in training, and I've had 40 camps. So I was like, man, I need to really start making money. I need to start doing something. Because, you know, I've been in this sport for a while now.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And you definitely earned it, man. You're an exciting fighter. I've always enjoyed your fights. What weight class are you going to fight at when you get to this new when you get to your new promotion? I know
it's gonna be at 45.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was looking forward to making the drop to 35, but
right.
It just seems like, you know, every call I get and everything I get is at 45. And I don't have a problem at 45. I feel good at 45.
Right.
The only reason I would ever make the drop to 35 is just, you know, just to see how I feel and how much of a difference the opponents are.
Sure.
But I feel good at 45. So to me, it would be, if it ended up being in the UFC, I would plan on trying to take both belts. Just because I feel so good at 45, and I would probably feel good at 35 as well.
Nice. So you think you have enough time to dominate like that, to succeed in getting 2 belts, 2 divisions, things like that in your promotions?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, I think once I get in the UFC, I think it's going to be. I think I'm going to go in there and put on some exciting fights real quick, and I think I'm going to get a title shot pretty quick. Just kind of sort of like Cody Garbrandt did, you know.
Yeah.
He kind of went in there and kind of knocked out a few guys and got it real quick just because his style was very marketable, and I feel like my style is even more marketable than he is. So,
well, you definitely.
I think that.
No, go ahead. I was just saying. I think you definitely have a striking advantage over just about anybody that you get in there with, given your amateur experience and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like, you know, that's gonna be what's gonna give me the push to get those title shots pretty quick. So I think if I was more of a, you know, a grappler or a wrestler or something like that, it would take me some time once I got in.
Sure.
But I think with my style and stuff like that, I would get it pretty quick.
Does this create a bit of a pressure for you to finish the show and then not be like necessarily taking home, like, you, even though they're unanimous decisions, but a pressure to go in there and finish?
No, not really. I never go in with pressure to finish.
Right.
I know that if it's there, it's going to come. And I know that I'll take it once it's there. I kind of go in there, you know, just open-minded for whatever. Like I'll go 3 rounds. I'll finish in the first, second. Doesn't bother me. I know that even if it is a decision, it's going to be an exciting decision, like my last fight was. It was a decision, but it was, you know, an exciting decision. It wasn't a boring decision.
True. No, I really enjoyed the fight. Your speed was a big difference in that fight. It was crazy. It's kind of like he wasn't able to find you. Really, it looked like he got super frustrated in that fight. Speaking of with the hands and boxing and stuff, I know you're involved with Nico Valdez. He just won his pro fight. He's like 5-0, I think now.
Yeah, he just improved to 5-0 under Golden Boy, and he's fighting again July 14th.
Sweet.
So I'll be there, and then I'll be going from there to Vegas.
Nice. How involved are you in boxing still?
Well, with him, I'm involved because he's like my first student. So, whatever he does in his career, I want to be there and help him as much as possible.
Right.
But as far as like training other people and stuff like that, that's not really part of what I do.
Right.
I just like helping him as much as possible because he's like my little brother. So I take care of him as much as I can.
You know, knowing how much experience you have around boxing, is it fun for you to get back into that environment and be around, you know, a boxing night of fights and being by the ringside?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I love boxing. I still watch boxing. I'll always love boxing. So when I'm there, it's exciting. It's cool. It makes me want to sometimes box again when I'm watching it. But yeah, but I like the fact that I'm still involved with it. You know,
sure.
At this point.
Absolutely. Listen, man, I want to thank you for coming through, and you know, man, maybe we can get that news from you soon. We always seem to just be off a little bit, man, but hopefully we can get that soon. I really appreciate it.
I'm actually the deal's pretty much done. So they didn't tell me yes or no whether I could release it.
Yeah.
So I should have. I'm gonna ask them. I emailed them already actually.
Okay.
And they just never got back to me. I wanted to have the news for you. I sent them an email and they didn't respond. So as soon as they respond and I get the okay, I'll let you know for sure.
Much thanks, man. We really appreciate it. And thanks again for coming on the show and giving us your time, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Take care. Bye.
Take care, bud. Just missed again.
I know. He said the 18th, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, there's no card on the 18th. Maybe he meant 16th. There's a Nelson Ponzinibbio card, so maybe that's the one. I don't know. And there doesn't seem to be any card that falls. The only cards that fall, there's really doesn't seem to be any that fall on the 18th. Even like amateur, even like King of the Cage or Invicta.
Well, I don't think he's gonna fight on Invicta.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the only cards are on the 18th itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
I don't know.
It is what it is. You know, hopefully we can get back. We'll have to do some more research and maybe we can get that out sooner than later. We'll throw it up on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Man, you know, we were always so close. Last time we were close too, right? When he was supposed to get the Combate America.
He's a good friend of the show, so hopefully he'll be able to, one of these. We'll catch him one of these times for sure.
Lazar's a great dude.
And a great fighter.
He always makes time for us, you know. Truly enjoy having that guy on the show. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait for his upcoming fight in July. Love watching him fight. Yeah. Next up, we have Jose Shorty Torres is going to be on the line. And the UFC had said they wanted to see Jose go through some adversity. Well, he tore his MCL. He broke his hand. Came back from getting knocked down in the first round to dominate. Hopefully they don't want much more for him. I don't know what else he's supposed to do.
Another guy who's just this close,
right?
Almost there.
But we're going to talk to Jose, and we'll hear right from him what's going on. So we'll be back with Jose Shorty Torres.
Yep.
Shorty Torres makes Titan FC history, becoming the first ever two-division champion, flyweight and bantamweight.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back, and we have on the line with us the Titan flyweight and bantamweight champ, the champ, Jose Torres. What's going on, Jose? Thanks for joining us, man.
Well, it's always a pleasure. Happy to be on.
Yeah, man. How's everything with the hand and the MCL?
Everything's good. You know, for people who don't know, I did break my hand during the fight, and I tore my MCL on my right leg all in the first round, and I actually, came back strong in the last 4 rounds, which I'm very happy about, but once that adrenaline goes away, you definitely feel all the pain. So surgery's on my hand. I don't need surgery on my knee, so I just got to try my best to play it smart and not do anything too expensive, which is usually my problem. And I actually just got my sutures off today from my hand, so now I can finally take a shower without a plastic bag over my wrist.
Sweet. I know that feeling. I've broken ankles and stuff before. I've been there. That sucks. How soon into the fight did you hurt yourself? When did you first realize, when did you break the hand and hurt the knee?
So when actually I got dropped is when I was able to or when I got dropped is when I pretty much twisted my knee and I tore my MCL, and then later on in the round I was like, oh, you know what, I really got to get this guy back, and I must have just overextended my hand a little too far, and I just didn't get the right type of punch, and maybe only one knuckle got in it. But either way, I know watching the fight, I can't even tell when I broke my hand.
Right.
I have like maybe 2 places, but I know during the fight, right after the first round was over, I told my coach, I'm like, hey, man, my hand's broken. I remember punching, hearing a click, and going, "You broken? Nah. Let's try it again." And I punched him again, and I was like, "No, yeah, it's definitely broken. Definitely broken."
Yeah, I imagine that didn't feel too good.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but
No.
The best thing about it is I had the adrenaline. Plus, when you have somebody punching you in the face,
Sure. Speaking of which, how hard was that left hand you got hit with? How rocked were you?
Excuse me?
How I said, speaking of that, how hard was that left hand that hit you in round 1 that dropped you? How hurt were you?
Man, I wasn't. That's the crazy thing was. It was funny in my head because I'm not talking smack about Farquaad in my head, but I'm like, oh, okay, his punches aren't too bad, and even if I get punched, I'm fine. And then the next thing you know, I get dropped.
Right.
And the thing was, looking back at the film, I didn't do anything wrong. He just, he snuck it right behind my guard. My guard was up. He just, cleverly put it right behind it. I just didn't see it coming. I think that's why it dropped me. But all I remember was getting hit and then being on my butt. There's no, recollection of the fall or in between. And all I remember was going, did I get headbutted? Did I get dropped? Oh my God, there's a flying knee. Duck.
Yeah. I couldn't even believe it. If that had landed, that's an instant disqualification. I was so happy it didn't land because I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe he threw that technique at you. So I'm just trying to put everything in order here so it kind of flows for me here. Was there anything about his skills that surprised you?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I said, was there anything about his skills that surprised you?
His boxing was a lot better than I expected. Given I know he was a professional boxer, but when you start venturing off into different sports like MMA, your boxing skills definitely transition to that sport more appropriately. But overall, he was a good boxer. Mainly with both of us having broken hands and only being able to use our left hand, he was a good boxer. The only thing that was his downfall was my conditioning. I was able to push more and push more forward than he was, which that's just my pace. People know me from boxing and MMA gym. I'm just a very full person. I don't care if you're a better boxer than me. Usually once you tire out, all those skills go away, and that's how eventually I'll still able to win the fight. But he had some very, very good boxing. I know his jiu-jitsu was very good. I did eventually want to keep him down to do some ground and pound, but he was very good at no matter what, just always trying to transition to go for a submission. That I just didn't want to play that game. I only wanted to stay on top of him for a couple strikes and get off of there. I don't want him to get comfortable.
Fair enough. When did you feel him start to wilt? Your pressure was crazy, and might I add, man, you're crazy calm in there. Like you have the same facial expression for 25 minutes. It's just march forward, march him down, pressure him, and your facial expression did not change. When did you feel that wilt in him?
I don't know, man. It's one of those things that when you hit somebody, and I know from experience as well, when you hit somebody with all you have, for example, his left hand is probably his best punch. He drops me and then puts me in the guillotine, which was tight. After I get out of that, it's just like, oh man, what else do I have to do? It's discouraging. Plus, when I was stuck in that guillotine, he was, because it was in deep, he was trying to finish me. So he's putting all of his effort into it, and so that's why he could tire out faster than what I believe he usually does. But I don't know, man. I'm always calm. It's one of those things that if I don't go in there smiling, that's why I always do something fun right before the fight starts. If I don't go in there smiling, if I don't go in there calm and relaxed, it's not my type of fight. Then I'm only going to think of one thing, and that's a knockdown. I don't like a tunnel vision. That's not beneficial for me. Yeah. And for me, I broke my hand and tore my MCL. I was in pain during the fight, but I wanted to have a poker face. I wanted to be as calm as possible and just push forward as much as possible. And I did see him start to fade away after I got back up from getting out of that guillotine. And the biggest thing is once you catch a kick and the guy just keeps falling and just waits there, automatically he's tired. So I'm not going to play the ground game front. He's going to keep coming back up. I don't care if you're a better boxer than me or not. I'm technically giving you the best chance to win a fight. Keep on coming back up. But that's just me, man. I like to push forward, and people who know me in the gym, I'm a very, very aggressive person, whether you're beating me up or not.
Were you at all concerned when the fight went to the judges?
I'm not happy at all that the fight went to the judges.
Right.
Farquaad and I both decided that we wanted to make this a slugfest and hopefully be a finish for one of us so we can get a finish bonus. But so be it. It didn't happen, and I know there's woulda, shoulda, couldas in the fight, and I learned a lot from the fight. I'm definitely gonna mix up my style a little bit, but I was definitely going for the finish, and that's how I wanted to start off in a sense my bantamweight reign for Titan FC, finishing the best guy who just won the tournament for Titan FC to be the bantamweight champion. So it happens, but I'm just glad overall. Hopefully the UFC saw that I came back from adversity and that the fight to give me the call up.
That's got to scare you. Even if it's not enough adversity, it's got to be scary to you what they want you to put your body through to actually overcome adversity. Like a torn MCL, a broken hand, getting dropped in the first round. I don't know how much more you're willing to take to prove that point. It's got to be a bit upsetting.
Dude, it's one of those things that when I knocked out Pedro Nobre in 86 seconds, they're like, you did well. You took the fight. We wanted you to take. The only problem was, you finished him too quick. What? So you're telling me I did too well? I got to do it again. All right. They wanted me to come back from adversity, and I think, honestly, maybe subconsciously that I decided to stand with them and bang with them a little more because I wanted to put on more of a show and possibly have the UFC enjoy that more. But man, I said I didn't got in the car. One of those things is like, just like you said, what else do I have to do in a sense to come back from adversity? I think this is the worst thing to possibly happen when fighters get dropped, almost get choked out, and you break your hand and tear pretty much your MCL, which is my whole dominant right side. So all my power punches are gone, all my power kicks are gone, but I was definitely still being able to push forward. So I don't know what else they want to see from me. And the thing is, getting more numbers for me right now isn't fun. I just, I want to fight, but I want to fight guys that are worth fighting, fight guys with a big resume to show that, I can hang with the best.
Well, I mean, people don't understand that you're actually have like a 30-fight win streak or something, don't you?
Yeah, I'm exactly on 30 fights, which is awesome because, the 30th fight is a bantamweight championship, and I'm very, very happy about that.
And how discouraged are you? Like, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so you go out, you dust Pedro Nobre, you do that in incredible fashion. Then you go to a 5-round war with the bantamweight champion. You win that. How do you one up that? Would you start looking at featherweight or something, Jose? Like, how do you one up that?
And that was the thing, I still have not received a call from the UFC, which is, and again, it's not disrespectful. I know they're very busy with all the things they do, but it's baffling. They're looking for new talent. I know they're signing new people. But even the 35ers, 45ers, any weight class, they don't have my resume even at 10 fights. No one had a championship belt. Nevertheless, two, plus a giant amateur resume with 2 other world championships. So
right.
The UFC says they want excitement in the flyweight division. I believe I can do that. I do have 3 finishes out of 5 fights. 2 of my fights that didn't go to finish were pretty much wars of me just showing dominance and pushing forward. But and plus I'm versatile with being able to switch up, going to 2 weight classes, and just having fun and enjoying the sport. I don't know. I don't know what else I have to do when it comes to what's next. I feel right now they want me to get numbers, but me fighting anyone at 25 or 35, they're guys that are under me. No disrespect to any of those guys, but there's no promotional value. There's no publicity there. It's like, if I beat him, I just beat another guy. And if I lose to them, I possibly lost to nobody. Now I have to win 2 or 3 more, just get back to where I was.
And then at the end of the day, anything, like, let's be honest, anything that you do is going to be a step backwards right now, like in promotion or within the promotion, just because you've taken huge fights. Like, do you feel that way?
Yeah, for the promotion myself, it's kind of hard to promote some of these guys at flyweight and bantamweight. There's a reason why I'm Titan FC poster boy, because I promote myself very, very well, and I really put myself out there to be the poster boy. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is more just headhunting for me, and that's great. I mean, I love that, which makes me work much harder. But all these guys have, even smaller records than I do, or even bigger records, but no one knows them, and it's possibly for a good reason. Either they're not finishers or they're just not popular. They're not, marketable. So for me losing to one of these guys, again, no offense to them, it's a lose for me. I'm just fighting for numbers, and that's not fun. It's not encouraging and motivational when you go into the gym. You're just fighting for a number. I like to fight for a belt or fight a guy who has a fantastic record.
Is there a chance that you step away from Titan and go try to hunt bigger prey in a different organization?
I don't know. There have been talks of trying to get me in the Contender Series for the UFC, or even actually, really, that's about it. I'm very loyal to my promotion. You know, Titan FC has done a lot for me.
Sure.
And
definitely.
they're the reason why I've been able to, you know, get all these interviews and meet fantastic people as possible, great networking, and being able to talk to the UFC. I wouldn't mind fighting for other promotions, but you know, I can't backstab a promotion that's you know, treating me very, very well. So I'll definitely be sticking with Titan FC. And you know, if there's any new ideas, the first person I talk to is Luck McMahon, the COO of Titan.
Yeah, no, definitely. They've definitely done their end on pushing you as your own brand. That's for sure, 100%. Has there been any talk where if the phone doesn't ring from the UFC, what you will do next?
So there has been a little talk. I definitely can't announce what,
Sure.
no, not yet at least, what the next fight is going to be for some of these guys. But there will be possibly a contender matchup for both weight classes, and whoever wins that fight will see which one, you know, is more marketable, 25 or 35. And I'll defend that belt. I believe right now it'd be appropriate for me to drop back down to defend the 25-pound belt, but that most likely be in September. So hopefully Turn FC will have a show in August, and then possibly another show in September, so I can, you know, keep on hopefully recover well enough to fight in September, and also, you know, put on a good show. But again, now I'm just getting numbers, and that's not the fun thing to do. I want to be able to go in the UFC, and even if I have to fight the Joe Schmoes of the UFC, at least in the UFC, and it's marketable compared to, you know, just some of these guys that no one knows in Titan FC. You know, I want to be able to fight on the show, and I want to fight the best. And I know what I can do. Hell, I've trained with half of that division already, so. You know, I know what I can do, and I just want to be able to, you know, do it.
You know, this week we've seen a lot with Demetrius Johnson going on the MMA hour. He's doing a lot of different things on websites and stuff, talking. What do you think about all that, and Dana White threatening to shut down the division? How do you feel about that? Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. You know, it really does suck to hear, but it's one of the things that there's bullying and then there's extreme bullying.
Right.
You know, bullying's just, you know, kind of you're picking on the guy, you're still kind of cool with him, but you're just picking on him. But there's extreme bullying where it's one-sided, it's no fair, and it's all for one person's benefit, and that's Dana White in the UFC right now. I get it where Demetrius Johnson's coming from, and I definitely get it where TJ's coming from as well. Maybe for a person who's always trying to, you know, get his belt back, which I believe he deserves. But Demetrius Johnson's king of the weight class, and I understand everything he's trying to say, but you have Dana White bullying him, and I believe it's definitely, and I think TJ said this as well, it's 100% aggression. It's more of just kind of speaking in the moment than really thinking about what he's saying.
Right.
And I think that one's more of a fake threat. But overall, it's something to try to help motivate, you know, DJ in fighting TJ. So it's not the funnest thing to hear, mainly because it kind of shows that Dana White doesn't really care about the flyweights.
Right. Would 35 be an option for you with the UFC? Or do you feel like you'd be better off to stick where you're at with the flyweight division?
I know definitely for sure my body is adapted well to 125, and I feel that is my division to take over first.
Yes.
And then eventually, given if I win the belt at 25 or not, eventually later in my career, I know my metabolism be, you know, slowing down, and I do want to do it down at Cerrone where, you know, hey man, if you need a last minute fight at 35, I'm more than happy to do that because there's an easier weight class to do, and I'm more than happy to just take the challenge. I like having fun that way.
Sure.
But I believe 25 is the division I want to be in. I know a lot of people are asking, like, hey, what if Bellator calls you? Like, that's great, but Bellator doesn't have a flyweight division either. You know, so I think flyweight's the way to go for me, and eventually Dana White.
Definitely. What's your timeline for when you'll be back training and preparing and all that stuff? What timeline are you looking at?
Well, I'm on 2 months recovery, so hopefully by mid-July. Mid to late July, I can start moving again, training again. Hoping actually by the end of the month I can start running again, which would be very, very nice because I live at home with my family, so they're just making me binge eating all this food and I can't work out. So it's really, it's like a pro and a con because I'm always complaining that I want to relax, but then I get to relax. I'm like, I want to do something. So it just really sucks. Maybe you can't, you know, move your hand or you can't really walk the best or even run the best. So it's just, you know, I'm hoping mid-July to July I can start working out again, and then, you know, hoping at least have a full month of training camp until I can fight again in September.
Is it, one last question about with the UFC, but is it starting to mentally get to you, like the not getting that call? Like, is it something that is starting to like occupy parts, you know, your thought?
you know, it's the thing of it's more envy and jealousy of looking at the people that have gotten the call to the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all either with the management group, they're all with big-time gyms, Jackson Wing, Team Alpha Male, and all these other people. But these guys have themselves as athletes in, you know, the pro MMA realm. They have no big accolades besides, you know, being they're big fish in a little pond, basically.
Right.
Which is great. There's nothing wrong with that, but they haven't proved themselves against, you know, other big fish. But somehow they're getting the call up immediately to the UFC. For me, I do manage myself. I am from a small local gym, and I haven't received any calls. But I have claimed 2 belts in 5 fights, something that Conor McGregor did for Cage Warriors, but at, I believe, 14 fights. I did it nearly 3 times as fast. I still get to call up. Was the best-ranked amateur 2 years in a row with the best record, now on a 30-fight win streak. There's now technically 4 world championships, something no one's ever done before in history, and still don't get to call up. So it's one of those things that, what else do I have to do, or did I piss someone off that now no one likes me? So
they're not on Team Shorty.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, hey, did I piss someone off? Did I put like a mean tweet out there that just someone didn't like? Is it screw it? So, you know, it sucks, but right now with this recovery, you know, I'm just trying to make all these posts and tag people as much as possible so I can still stay relevant, still keep this hype up, and just covering the, you know, in between in the meantime.
You know, that's one thing I will say about you. You are extremely active on social media, super interactive with fans. Is that something that comes natural to you, or is that something you had to work at to be that way? Was that, or did it come naturally?
You know, I was a kid that didn't grow up with the best things in the world, given I know people grew up with way worse. But I was always a person that tried my best to, once they freeload, but, you know, trying to get some advantages from friends and people helping me back and me helping them as well. You know, so for me, you know, even though I'm in MMA, I go in there into the cage by myself. All the people who help me along the way, my trainers, you know, my training partners, sponsors, everyone. You know, if it wasn't for anyone helping me along the way, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So that's why I do say we are together, Team Shorty. Because if it wasn't for anyone helping me along the way, whether bad, yelling at me, or saying good things to me, whatever the case may be, they're all helping me along the way. So that's why I do say Team Shorty. So it doesn't matter what my fan base is, from 6,000 right now or to 100,000, you know, later on in life. I'm always trying to be, you know, as best as possible, as interactive with all my fans, because again, we are together, Team Shorty, and if it wasn't for anyone, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So, you know, I want to give back as much as possible.
Sweet. Listen, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show again. I always appreciate having you and talking to you. I wish you a speedy recovery and look forward to getting you back in the cage as soon as possible.
Well, thanks, man. I can't wait to do it again. It's, you know, it's always a pleasure, but hopefully next time we do an interview, I'll be in the UFC.
Yeah, that'd be good, man. That'd be really nice. I hope to see you get it, man. You deserve it more than most. So I'm cheering for you, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. You take care of yourself.
You too, bud. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's fucking heartbreaking.
30 wins in a row.
Yeah.
30. 30.
I was just stewing on
crazy.
it. Was we just talking about before we went live there about like the flyweight division and how they're thinking about, you know, if he's threatening to close the division, then that's already in his mind somewhere. So maybe that's got something to do with it. They're just not bringing in that much talent, you know. They're just not bringing, like, just in case.
I know. But
maybe it's just not WME's thing.
He deserves it, man. So much. The guy's, like he said, man, Conor McGregor did that, you know, Cage Warriors, won the 2 belts.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it in 5 fights. 5 pro fights. Within 5 months, he was the flyweight champion.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
his 3rd fight, he was a champion.
And going back to what we were talking about again off of air, talking about, like, you know, the way that the UFC has to continue and you know, really like pushing their prospects regardless of how they promote themselves, even though he does a good job promoting himself as well. But still, wouldn't you say that the UFC not scooping this guy up right now it's a mistake, right? It's a mistake.
I'd say so.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
You definitely, especially in that division.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a division. Well, unless they know something we don't know. Like, I've also said, too, that guys get their shot before they're ready in that division because it's so thin.
Yeah.
That guys end up getting a shot at Demetrius when they could probably use another 2 or 3 fights before they do that, you know? But they kind of get rushed into it, which I don't want to see for him either.
No.
I'd like to see him be ready when that day comes. So we'll see. You know what? I don't understand how he can't go. It just when I think about it, and it's like when you hear him start listing off his accolades, it's like how do you not?
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. As long as that division is up and running, it's just a matter of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you saw what Tim Elliott did.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he beats Tim Elliott.
Yeah, it's true. And Tim Elliott put a hell of a fight on too.
Right.
DJ.
Absolutely, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I guess that's why I'm not Mick Maynard or Sean Shelby. You know.
One day.
Can you imagine? That'd be something.
The Legends division.
Right. Okay, listen. We're gonna be back with the last guest of the show, Volkan Oezdemir. I look forward to having Volkan on the show. Talk to him.
Brendan Schwab's favorite light heavyweight in the world right now.
Brendan, I like Brendan Schaub. Yeah, so we're gonna have Volkan on. He's gonna talk about his 28-second destruction of Misha Cirkunov, and his upcoming bout with Jimi Manuwa. So we look forward to that conversation. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
So you can see they had a very short feeling out process, but then Misha Cirkunov, as he does, crashes forward. But let's see what he walked onto. Look at that beautiful work. Oezdemir circles off a very short right hand to the side of the ear. Probably took away the equilibrium of Misha Cirkunov. Cracked him clean right next to the ear, and he went down. Beautiful work there.
What's up, Fight House fans? We're back with Volkan Oezdemir, fresh off his 28-second destruction of Misha Cirkunov. How you doing, Volkan? Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. I'm doing great.
Yeah, man, I bet you are. You had a great fight last time out. Things couldn't have gone any better for you. What were your thoughts about the fight?
Yeah, the fight was great. I mean, like, I couldn't ask for better. It was like a really fast knockout.
Sure.
And that was a really awesome, move for me.
Definitely. Just before you landed the right hand that dropped him, he blitzed you. Kind of. Did that surprise you? It looked like it kind of caught you off guard. Were you surprised that he came out like that?
I mean, I think he wanted to prove something. Maybe he wanted to prove that he was the better striker. But you come from a sport that you've been doing all your life. Like, he's been doing judo all his life. Grappling and wrestling. And
yeah,
I'm a striker. It's like, don't come into my world.
True. And I mean, you proved that point pretty clearly. It was a pretty case in point. Were you surprised that the right hand dropped him like that?
I didn't expect my right hand to drop in like this because I was, moving backwards. But then when I pivot, I did the side step. I was able to unleash a strong hand, But then the guy fell down, and I was able to continue with the ground pound, and that was it.
Yeah, man, I was surprised because at first it was like, what knocked him down? Because it was such a short, powerful right hand. It was hard to even see, and then when you saw it, it was kind of like, whoa, really? Kind of gave us a whole new respect for your power, man.
My hips were behind my body, but my hands were not that strong.
Mm-hmm.
But you can clearly see my hips, going all the way to the left. So boom, I did that right hand, that hook, and that was strong enough.
Yeah, man. Did you let them know immediately after the fight that you were looking for a quick turnaround, or was this kind of their idea to give you the Manuwa fight at 214?
I mean, I didn't even know that the fight was so close, but what I knew was Manuwa was is above me in the ranking,
yep.
And he doesn't have anybody to fight right now, so that fight was making the perfect sense for me, and I wanna climb the rank, and I wanna fight as much as I can. So that was the perfect opportunity for me.
What was your first thought when they called you with the Manuwa fight? When you first found out that it was an option for you, what was your first thoughts?
What did you say?
I said, what was your first thoughts when you received the call for the Manuwa fight?
I mean, first of all, I was talking on the post-fight interview with Fox, and that's when I said that I was interested in Manuwa. But after the fight, I was taking the bus, riding the bus back home, and then I spoke with Nick Maynard, and we started talking a little bit, and we just came to a conclusion that I was going to fight against Manuwa.
Nice. How do you feel about the matchup?
What did you say?
I said, how did you feel about the matchup with Manuwa? How do you, as you approach it?
I feel great. Manuwa is a striker. I'm a striker, and I believe I'm better. I'm way technically better, and that's it. We both have strong hand, power hand, and it just take one power shot to finish the fight. So it's going to be a knockout in the first round.
Are you predicting another first round knockout?
That's what I'm aiming for. Like,
yeah.
I wanna continue in the same, with the same pace I always bring. And most of my fights were by knockouts during the first round. I believe there is only one fight that was in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I always did, and that's what I want to do next.
Where do you see your advantages over Manuwa with the striking? Where do you feel like you'd be strongest?
I'm more versatile, and I have a good timing, and I'm just able to do, to do everything. And I also believe I'm a better wrestler and better on the ground than him. So, I get all the tools.
Is it weird for you to think that just like you had your first fight in February, and you're now halfway through the year, you're within arm's reach of John Jones or DC, whoever happens to come out of that the victor. Right now it's DC, but you're within arm's reach of that. Is that shocking to you? I
mean, it's pretty amazing. It's really crazy. Everything happened that fast, but I also worked for it, and I choose those fights. So that's what brings me closer to the belt, every fight. But it's all happening because I won the right fight at the right time, and here I am, at number 4.
Absolutely. We were just actually talking before we started the interview. We were just sitting here saying like people are starting to quickly realize who you are. We were watching a flick from the Joe Rogan podcast where he was essentially wasn't even sure who you were, and then all of a sudden it's like you start Cirkunov in 28 seconds and the whole room's going like, this guy's for real. Wow. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the clip yet, but if not, you should watch it because it's really funny. But you can literally see the mood of the whole room shift to kind of this guy's a real contender for this belt. Did you are you feeling like you sent that message?
Yeah, I hope the division. I hope I put the division on notice because that was my two first opponents, and I just wanna fight everybody that is above me. So
true. For
sure, I hope everybody is ready for that.
Definitely. And you were already over in Europe, so I know you had a chance to head back home to do some vacationing. How did it feel to go back home, and how often do you get to go back there?
The first time I went back was after my fight against OST.
Okay.
And I just didn't really spend time. It wasn't a holiday. It was just a lot of promo, a lot of media work, and a lot of stuff like that. So it was fun because I was still able to see my family, but at the same time, it was a lot of work. And this time is the same, but it's even worse.
It's even worse. They got you. How is the media for you to handle? Is it something that, because everything's happened so quickly for you, is it something that you're able to handle well?
Yeah, that's the point. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's also because now I'm ranked I was top 5, I'm ranked 4, and everybody now, now I confirm a little bit my position in a ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So people now, maybe pay more attention, and it's now I'm also the only fighter in the UFC from Switzerland, but I'm also the only one that is ranked. So that's also something amazing for my country.
Now you've received a huge boost. Are you looking at this as a huge opportunity to kind of bring the UFC over to Switzerland? I know there's a lot of people who have made a lot of money opening those kind of doors and breaking down those kind of barriers into their countries. Is that something you're looking to do?
Yeah, really. I really hope I can fight in Geneva because Geneva is also close from France, and I know the MMA in France is illegal.
Yes.
So hopefully with the UFC in Geneva, maybe we can help changing mentality.
Definitely. When you go home, what's besides your family, what's your favorite thing to do when you get there?
Oh, I'm just spending time with my family and going to the mountains, hiking or stuff like that, and that's it. But right now, I'm not even spending time doing this. I'm just working again, doing some promo interview and training because my training camp started again.
I know. Yeah, and I know you went to Paris too. What was is it business in Paris or personal?
Yeah, it's business also. I just did some video, some vlog for like a big media in Paris. It's one of TV channel, and they're gonna put my video of my last fight in UFC online. It's gonna be tomorrow, Thursday, and this is gonna be a lot of followers because it's a pretty big channel, and hopefully I can start building stuff. So I went to Paris for this. I was on the show on UFC Weekly too, and yeah, I mean it's a lot of stuff. So I was in Paris for this, and I'll be there also for the Glory, the next Glory fight.
Are you? How easy is it for you to balance all this media now with your schedule? Like, I mean, 6 months ago, you didn't have this sort of crazy media, responsibilities, right? You weren't doing you weren't doing a lot of stuff like that. Has it become hard to balance the training schedule and the media schedule?
So, yeah, you need to have the perfect people around you, because right now I'm like having so much stuff to deal with, and I cannot. If I have to do everything by myself, I cannot do it really well. So I miss call. I have some people I cannot talk. So now I have some people taking care about this. So now I'm fine.
Sweet. When do you head back to the States?
June 13th.
June 13th.
I'll go back, start my training camp for Manuwa, and that's it.
Nice. So what's your prediction, man? First round knockout? Is that what you're saying? That's your final prediction?
Yeah, first round knockout.
All right, man. You know what? I got to bet on it. I can't count you out now, man. First round knockout after what you did last time. I might have to throw a couple hundred down on Volkan for the first round.
Yeah, I'll be the underdog again, so you better do it.
I'm gonna do it. Listen, I really want to thank you, man, for coming through the Fight House. You've always been great to us, man. You give us some time and stuff, and especially with all the new obligations, the fact that you still do that is really awesome. So I really want to thank you on behalf of us here at the Fight House. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Yes.
Okay. Have a great
day. See you. Bye.
All right. Bye, man. I really am throwing 300 on Volkan.
Pound for pound champ.
Don't tell my wife. You know what? He's how can you count him out? I mean, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what it is. At the end of the day, it's just beautiful that there's a little bit of life to that division.
Yeah. So.
Even with John and the domination of it, it's just like still something different would be nice.
We have to see about John. I'm not accusing nobody, but we still haven't really seen John have a solid performance post USADA.
It's true.
He only had one fight. He fought OSP. Looked like shit, in my opinion. Yeah. But who am I to say? I mean, OSP would stomp me. So at the end of the day, but by John Jones standards, he didn't look good.
It's true.
So I'm kind of and he can't show up and fight DC like that.
No.
Like he fought OSP. That can't happen.
No.
I think he'll get mauled. Not mauled, but
he'll lose. He could very easily lose that fight.
Yeah, so I know. I'm curious to see what happens with that. DC and Volkan's an interesting matchup if that were to happen.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him fight Gus, to be honest.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He adds so many different possibilities. And then Misha as well. You have Misha further down. I'm sure he's going to come back strong.
Oh, yeah, he will come back. I mean, no one's counting out Misha at all, just for the purpose of our conversation. Right?
Yeah.
Talking about Volkan, but I have no doubt that Misha will come back and do someone maybe look,
a little new blood in the division.
You know what really annoys me is when I shouldn't say it annoys me, but kind of bothers me a little bit is when guys step so far out of their skill set to prove a point or for whatever their purpose. It's like, that's not who you are. Like, Misha had no business trying to box with Volkan. You didn't. I'm not insulting you. I'm not, I'm sure your hands are competent, but that's not your bread and butter. That's not what you do. That is his bread and butter. Like, why would you do that?
It's true. We talked about it on the podcast before where, like, MMA's had this evolution where at first it was like, you had your skill set and then you came in and you fought. And then it was like, okay, you need to be well-rounded and everybody just practiced everything equally. And now we're getting back to the point now where there's specialty guys. Everybody is good at everything. Everybody's competent.
Yeah.
But then you still have your specialty. And that seems to be, like Connor, these people, they're most effective that way. It's just like you just do what you do best, but mix it up so they don't know when it's coming.
It's literally, we got to a point. What I'd like to see this era of MMA is where people are able to manipulate the fight to take place where they want it. You have to have that ability to not make it go everywhere, but get to a point where it's like, no, like a Damian Maia on the other end. Or it's like, I'm just not striking with you.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
Sure.
You can come in with that plan. That could be great and everything, but that's not what's going to happen.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to take you down to my world and drown you. And Connor's the same. Connor's like, you can shoot for those. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to defend those. And then I'm going to hit you with something you're not ready.
It's the same reason why Georges St. Pierre was so dominant, because he knew that very early before anybody else did.
Yeah, definitely.
Not
George
anybody
is a
else,
perfect
but
example.
you really did.
And
you
Anderson's a
understood it.
perfect example of it too. And guys had success in the past few years. Like not few, but longer.
Yeah.
That's what it's been. Joanna, just go through. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Just go through. Max has a competent ground game, but he's
not trying to do it. Chuck, there's tons of guys. That's literally, if you just think about it, that's really who has had the most success.
Yeah, it's just guys that have found the ability to keep it in their realm.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Misha understands that now, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see him just come out and then do it. Throw a couple punches to get his attention and shoot, take him down, put him on his back. Especially when he lost to a wrestler. He spent 3 rounds Volkan did on his back. Why would you come out and do anything but try to implement your game plan? It's almost silly.
It is.
But whatever.
But I'm not a fighter, so it's
different.
It's different when you get in there. Sometimes
for
you take a look at somebody.
For sure. And sometimes, we're all still have egos and stuff, right? And sometimes if someone checks it, you might feel like you need to prove a point. Mm-hmm. And that might be just something you're feeling in your heart. And who am I to say nothing?
Exactly.
So anyway, it's been another good week. We had a great show today. I'm super happy with it. We had Aaron and Eryk and Brennan on. They had some words to talk about their fight. Followed that up with Lazar. Too bad he couldn't break us the big news, but I'm sure he'll come through soon enough. We're gonna get a call from him. We'll let you guys know as soon as we know. Jose Shorty Torres, good friend of the show. Always love having Jose on. He's
get there.
He's gonna get there. He's gonna get there, man. He's like my underdog champ, and I root for Jose. I was like, come on.
But you don't have to. He's not even an underdog. This guy's he's legit. No. I'm not saying that. I don't understand that. But like the guy has so much skill. It's so much potential. It's frustrating. It's just time. You got to put your time in. I guess it's just the way everything is. It's the way life works.
It's the way it goes. Then we close out the show with Volkan, another friend of the Fight House. He's always been cool with us. Always gives us time. Awesome guy. I can't wait to see how many more. He's continue to shock the world till he makes everyone a believer. We'll see we'll see how that goes. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for him and Manuwa, 2 guys that are gonna bang. It should be an interesting fight.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
It wouldn't surprise me either, man, to see him try to put him on his back and ground and pound him out.
You can be assured that Jimi Manuwa is probably gonna look past him, and that's a huge advantage. I shouldn't say that for sure, but I could see him. The way he's chatting up with DC over Twitter all the time.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Right? You don't know who he is. He's the black. He's the outside guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see. But anyway, another great show. I want to thank everyone joining us. It's me, Jason Sutcliffe, with
Tristan Keddy.
I didn't forget this time.
You're the best.
Boom. See you guys next week. We got another big show. We got a couple more heads to head. We'll share that with you on social media. It's going to be another good week. Talk to everyone later. Bye.